talking to a neighbor of mine who's start that over. No, I almost said what he did or something. I don't want to describe what people do or who they are, because I don't know. I want to keep a level of anonymity to people. But he was saying that he'd heard that there was going to be another round of lockdowns. And I'm fine with that. Because that means I'll be able to walk out around. I'm gonna go back inside. I'm gonna turn my phone on. I'm gonna start this fucking thing all over again. I like that because the last time we had lockdowns here, it was fucking great. It was great because, you know, when it first went down, I remember the night, or it was afternoon here when we got word that everybody had to be in like, I think it was like 4 hours or something. So I went to Nia's work to meet her. I remember that day, it just felt like kind of one of those surreal type things. Like, you know, it was just weird. You know, the government said we ought to be inside the house, and then we gotta stay in. It was kind of funny at the same time. I knew right then, though, that it was the beginning of something. The beginning of something that ended up being, and as it went on, it just kind of continued in the way that I assumed it would. I was really surprised when they let everybody out. I mean, I did not see that one coming. I mean, I don't. Still to this day, I don't know exactly why that happened. Why they pulled back on that and let everybody go. I just think that they weren't ready for something, or because again, like we talk about these guys that work as the farmers. This like crop of them, this like generation, these extension of the 13 families, their crew, this current crew is very incompetent, and they keep fucking up. We've seen it many times, you know, when something's supposed to go one way and it doesn't go another way. You can see it from the psyops too, the way they run their fucking shit. It's just not good. Like, they're just not really, they're not as good as the ones that came before. You know, they're not as smart or with it. So I think it was a case of they were going to keep us in there, and for whatever reason, they just decided they weren't ready, or they didn't have the things in place that they wanted in place, so they let everybody go. But I always felt like we would come back to that, because we'd set the precedent now that these fucking people will do anything you tell them. It was shocking, man, when I like that night, like I was talking about the first day, and I'm down there meeting Nia. I'm like, no one's gonna fucking do this. It's America. You know, these people don't do that shit. We didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. I'm a Celtic guy. I'm Irish. But the Americans left Britain to come here to get away from that bullshit. Why would... It doesn't seem characteristic for this country to everybody to do something like that. Nope. I was wrong, man. I was wrong. I gave people too much credit. You know, like everyone went in their house. I'm telling you, man, it was me out here, and like every once in a while, some other guy, usually like one of the mutants, you know, that just they're fucking gone. No one's gonna tell them to do anyway. No one was out here. Now I got my story, like I know what I'm doing. If a cop stopped me, and they were stopping people, and you know, some people were getting arrested and shit for being out here. I have my story. Hey, I gotta pick up my subscription. I have to cancel my subscription to the Resurrection. No, I gotta pick up my prescription at Long's. Hold on a second, I'm sorry. I'm always talking with a cigarette in my mouth. I have to keep it going though, because if this light goes out, it's like a zombie movie here. If this fucking light goes out, I get swarmed. I get fucking swarmed. I got people up my ass right next to me. I feel a man's hairy arm against mine. I smell their fucking breath on my neck. Bad cologne, bad perfume. You've seen it happen. You see me fucking freak out about that. But yeah. So I was just shocked that we all, not we all, everyone just kind of did it. And my idea, and you know, my excuse there was I have to pick up my prescription. My friend had a work shirt from when he used to work for the city, and he just wore that around with his tags, his old work tags. So if they saw him, they'd just be like, yeah, you know, whatever. But because so there are ways around it, right? There are ways around it, but I don't think anyone was looking for a way around it because everybody was scared. I remember being in my building and coming home with Nia, and this guy that lives in our building, he's kind of I don't know. He's all right, I guess. I don't know. He had a problem with me in the mask one day. He was yelling at me about the mask one day. But he gets in the elevator with us, and he's like, "I'm scared," and I'm like, "Don't be scared, man," you know. And he's like, "Yeah, but it's gonna blah blah." And I'm like, "Dude, you know, I'm trying to talk this guy, this basically a stranger, up the ledge." And I'm thinking, shit, I hope a lot of people aren't like this guy, because he would push someone off the Titanic to get to a life raft. You know what I mean? A lot of people, turns out, would push you off the Titanic to get the fucking life raft. I mean, like, you know what happened. It just evolved into a situation where everybody joined forces with the farmers, and they did the enforcement. You know, it wasn't Klaus coming out of his black tower to tell me to wear a mask or to stay inside or whatever. It was the people around me that enforced the tyranny. He weaponized you know, the regular people that are around you all the time. And that's when I started to realize these people are dangerous. You know what I mean? They would, and it played out in a way where I just realized more and more how dangerous they can be. You know, that turning each other in for having too many people in their houses. You know, now all the stupid things that make no sense, that wouldn't matter even if there was an actual thing going around. But I mean, it starts, I don't know how much I can go into it because YouTube, you know, but I could fucking tear that whole thing apart. It starts regularly. It starts at the whole basic idea that the thing they said is on the loose, because those things don't leave your body. I don't even know if I should. The V word, you know, that's a process. It's a cellular process that helps to clean out your system when you're ill or something. It's not something that floats around in the air. It's just that, so right away you're off to a bad start, you know, because you're telling people something that can't possibly be real is out there, you know. But the problem is, there's been tons of Hollywood movies where they have that as the main thing, and they say that the V thing can go in the air, and you know, people watch these stupid things for years, and of course when it was happening in real life, you know, Netflix also had the premiere of like a couple of movies about it, because they always do that, you know, like the train derailment things. They had the movie about the train derailment. Every time there's a thing, there's a Netflix thing, you know, what a coincidence. They just it's all one big show. That's the thing that you have to kind of keep in the back of your mind, is this is all one big show that's constantly running. I was watching this thing on, was it Niven's channel? I think it was Niven. He had this video, and it was about how the political people, the people who cover politics and presidents and politicians in Washington, how they basically just move from place to place in a studio all day, shooting all these different people, doing different scenes. How how it's all just a show. You know, they're always filming all this stuff that's primarily done at the same place. And I'm looking at that and I'm like, yeah. Except extrapolate that situation in every direction as far as the eye can see. And that's exactly what's going on with the world, or the air quotes reality you're living in. It's completely a show, the whole thing. And you're the only one that's really isn't participating in it. You're like witnessing it. And you think, well, there's, not me. I'm not the only one witnessing it. Other people. No, you're the only one witnessing it. And then that's the weird thing that you can get into, where we're all these different people. We, us, you. We're all just different points of attention of one consciousness. And we're acting like we're individuals, but we're not. We're just different points of conscious attention. So it's a show for you. And I mean, that gets a little hard to understand, and it's kind of beyond my understanding too. I know that it exists, and I know that's the concept, but I can't deal with that whole thing. I got to say a little bit more to here, because this is right in front of my face. But yeah, they if they do that again, right? And the only reason why I started asking people is because I noticed more and more of the face typers showing up. And I'm like, what the fuck is the media scaring these poor people again? These poor beleaguered people with the minds of children and the bodies of adults, like, with absolutely no discernment, no ability to think critically. Did they scare them again? And yeah, indeed they did. So it's been a couple years since the last one, and there's a lot of push to have us forget that, because a lot of people did a lot of bad stuff. Things that we won't even learn about for years and years to come. But they probably did a lot of bad stuff to you personally. You probably had to have some terrible changes made in your life, or sacrifices made, or... I mean, the stories are endless, right? Of what they put us through. And when I say they, I don't just mean the farmers. I mean these fucking idiots out here. I don't know exactly these idiots, but I'm sure some of them, I'm sure these idiots are fine. But so this could all happen again, and even though they've been trying to make us forget over the past couple of years that any of that happened, it would be right back to how it was. The same people that wanted lockdown forgiveness for, trying to put you in a hospital or in a camp or in the ground, those fuckers will do it again. Like I said they would. I said this, many times after, when you started seeing those articles, like, let's just all agree that, during the pandemic, we all didn't have the information, and, they're looking for that forgiveness thing. And a lot of us who are affected by it are just like, fuck you, And I'm one of those, a lot of us people. I'm not going to forget that shit. I'm not going to give you the restaurant example, because I tend to repeat a lot of the same shit. I know that. But they're going to be right back to it. It'll be the same thing again. It'll be, wow, why aren't you doing this? Why? Yeah, it'll be the same thing over again. And that's when, I start to think. That's when I say, yeah, most of the fucking people you see are constructs. They're parts of the OS, the operating system that creates this whole place. I can't get a break here I'm trying to get a break in the people to get further on the roads. But the thing is, right, you stand in one place too long and you get hangers on, so you got to keep moving at some point. But yeah, it'll all happen again. But the upside to all this, if it does, I mean, I hope it doesn't, because I don't want to deal with all that shit again. And if they're doing it again, they're doing a harder sweep. Like, I evaded it the first time. I didn't get tainted by any of their shit. But if they're gonna make a second grab, they're gonna make sure it's twice as hard for everybody who doesn't comply. It's going to be worse, but unfortunately, it's going to be worse. But we kind of knew it was going to be this kind of thing, this sort of enduring period that we have to live through. It's all right though. We will endure. God has already won. We're just trying to run the clock out here on this thing. All right. I guess that's it for now. Like always, if I run into any entities, I'll fire it back up. But unless that happens, don't blame the teacher, blame the schools.